Down to the end of the court, you can tell that she's in pain. You can tell that there's something wrong. She goes to the, what's it called, like stanchion or whatever, the thing that holds up the basketball hoop on the other end. She hits her head on it. She is fighting back tears and she walks straight over to the bench. Now, when she goes over to the bench, she starts crying, and I've honestly never seen Caitlin Clark cry on the court except when she lost the national championship game. She keeps it together no matter what is happening, but you could just tell that something happened on that play. And it was either the pain of it, it was either like, here we go again, it was frustration.
It wasn't merely the sound of an injured player. That sounded like a breaking point. A moment that rocked the league because it was so unvarnished and genuine. Team comments and well-planned news briefings have dominated the story for weeks. However, Caitlin Clark broke her silence in the most unquestionable way conceivable with those tears. We now understand why. The narrative didn't end with that emotional breakdown. It was just the start. It was the first indication to the public that her inner circle was waging a private battle against a league and a team that they believe have let her down. Additionally, there is a nuclear option in this conflict, as well as a covert, allegedly leaked, multi-million-dollar escape route to Europe. Thus, all of you narrative analysts who were aware that her courtroom response meant more were correct. We're making the connection today between Caitlin Clark's injury, the WNBA's institutional shortcomings, and the ferocious backchannel rumors that she might be thinking about leaving the league entirely. In order to concentrate on the story behind the tale, we at the narrative filter out the prime time noise. Please click the like button if you value that degree of analysis. It communicates to the algorithm that you are interested in the facts, not simply the talking points. Let's be clear now. We're not referring to a spectacular press conference or a tell-all interview when we say Caitlin Clark broke her silence. The message was far more potent and complex. She was had to formally withdraw from the WNBA All-Star Game a few days after that on-court collapse. Although her official statement was composed, the wording was a warning sign if you knew how to read between the lines. "I am really sad and disappointed to say I can't participate," she remarked. "My body needs to rest." Finish the quote. Very depressing. Consider that. That is an unusually sentimental word choice for a player who is renowned for her stern, nearly unwavering mental toughness. "I'm disappointed that this isn't the norm, but I'm concentrating on my recovery PR line." This was a private matter. This was the language of a disappointed person. Someone who has experienced mental as well as physical exhaustion. This was more than just an update. It validated what we all witnessed on the court. For the first time, the strain of everything was truly beginning to break her spirit. Additionally, that crack has made it possible to have discussions that were unimaginable only a few months ago. And those discussions are going straight abroad. At this point, the narrative turns from a player's personal struggle to a real existential danger facing the WNBA. Because a new one was beginning in the shape of a leaked contingency plan while the league was occupied putting out flames. Now that the noise is becoming too loud to ignore, let's enter the realm of rumors. Numerous rumors and extensive conversations on social media suggest that Caitlin Clark's team may be aggressively looking into options in European competitions. We're not discussing a nebulous concept. We are discussing particular figures that are being floated. Potential yearly compensation ranges from $1 to $3 million. Take a moment to process that. In comparison to her current WNBA wage, that is a huge sum. However, all of you narrative analysts who were aware that her courtroom behavior had deeper meaning were correct. We're tying together the injury, the institutional shortcomings, and the intense backchannel rumors that Caitlin Clark might be thinking about leaving the WNBA entirely today. There is no mystery about the motivation. All season long, we've all been watching things unfold in slow motion. It's a two-pronged argument. She was subjected to a physical battle on the court and a lack of protection from the organization off it. Let's start by discussing the actual fight. Clark has had a target on her back since the first game. We witnessed the Kennedy Carter event. We witnessed the altercations with athletes such as Marina Maberry. This is more than just a strong defense. There is a pattern. A physicality pattern that many supporters, including those close to Clark, think is intended to wear her down and terrify her. The most damaging evidence may have come from her own family, but her irritation ultimately boiled over in that game against the Sun when cameras captured her asking a referee to grow up and staring him in the eye. A remark that said, "Make no mistake," was posted by her brother Colin before being swiftly removed. The reffing has this. The situation behind the scenes is reaching a boiling point when your own family feels forced to openly criticize the league for not protecting you. But the league as a whole isn't the only failure. The Indiana Fever organization itself is currently the target of several accusations. The choices made regarding coaching have been perplexing. Clark's erratic playing time has drawn harsh criticism of head coach Stephanie White's rotational tactics. 4 minutes on, 5 minutes off may occasionally be a nightmare for any player attempting to establish a rhythm, much less one who has a history of soft tissue problems. What was Clark's coach's official reaction when the worst happened and she hobbled off the court? This PR was ambiguous, impersonal, and all too familiar.
No update. No, just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Line sensed a little sensation in her lower abdomen. They had used similar ambiguous phrasing following her prior injuries this season. Injuries that resulted in prolonged absences. This is the result of treating injuries more like a public relations issue than a medical one, as one report recommended. It severely undermines trust and contributes to the spreading rumor that the front management is more focused on public relations ticket sales than the long-term welfare of their franchise player. Let me ask you all these questions. What do you believe to be the main area of failure here? Is the WNBA to blame for failing to shield its top player from physical abuse? Or is it her own team's fault for seeming to take advantage of her health? Please share your theory in the comments section below. This brings us to a different perspective that places a lot more emphasis on Clark's camp's strategic thinking. What if this goes beyond a simple reaction? Could it be a well-planned power move? Think about this, if you're a true narrative analyst. What if the European offers leak wasn't an accident? What if the article was purposefully positioned to deliver a strong and unambiguous message straight to the WNBA commissioner's office? By offering a believable multi-million-dollar substitute, Team Clark completely alters the situation. They are no longer merely requesting improved security or more astute administration. They're asking for it. They have established leverage. Arrest these issues, protect your number one asset, or we will take our asset elsewhere, is a high-stakes negotiating strategy. The league understands what occurs when Caitlin Clark isn't on the floor, so it's a great, if hazardous, approach to make them finally take their worries seriously. The clock is already running out on the financial Armageddon. The figures are honest. The WNBA saw a startling 55% decline in viewership while Clark was sidelined due to her prior injury. Over immediately after her formal withdrawal from the All-Star Game, ticket sales for the event fell by over 50%. Her presence is largely responsible for the league's unprecedented increase in attendance and viewership. She is more than just a talented athlete. At the moment, she is the league's sole economic engine. It wouldn't be a loss if she left. It would be a disaster that might cause the WNBA to regress by years. When a player who has always been tough as nails suddenly shows the world how deeply this has affected her, it all boils down to moments like this.
And not once has she shown emotion like that.
The ultimate leverage is that emotion. The WNBA has the ability to dismiss criticism and complaints, but they are unable to ignore the obvious signs of their biggest star's breakdown. They also can't overlook the financial repercussions if she leaves. This is the bottom line. The subsequent disclosure of a European escape plan and Caitlin Clark's emotional breakdown on the court are not two distinct events. Cause and effect are what they are. The message has been sent, whether it is through the most spectacular power play in WNBA history or a sincere plan to depart. The balance of power has changed. The league as a whole, including the Indiana Fever, are currently formally on notice. Take action now or risk losing everything. What are your thoughts on all of this, then? Do you think this is a premeditated attempt to pressure the league to reform, or is it a sincere escape strategy sparked by frustration? Share your theory with us in the comments section. Additionally, Be sure to hit the subscribe button and enable notifications if you want to keep on top of the story and receive the actual updates on this evolving scenario. Lastly, show this movie to someone you know who only watches the headlines so they can comprehend the complete